bit of media that went out. Laurel had an unexpected medical situation that need to be addressed, so she will not be with us today. She is feeling well. She does appreciate your concerns, thoughts, and prayers, and wants to let you know she'll be back in the studio as soon as she can. We do have very special guest with us today, Randy Tate from iFlip. Many of you know Randy from the community, his work at the events, as well as with his own side of the iFlip platform that we'll talk a little bit about here later. Before we get started here, before we go live with today's content, I want everyone to know that this is an interactive session. We try to get to all the questions that are asked in the chat box. So as we get started today, let us know where you're coming from and let us know if you've committed to making your commitments for the new year. So as we start those coming through, we will go ahead and get ready for today. Randy, thank you for joining us on short notice. We definitely appreciate it. I know you've made your commitments to 2021. You're going to be talking a little bit about that today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I'm, happy I can help out. You caught me at a good time. Unfortunately, all our thoughts and prayers are going out to Laurel. Hopefully, she's going to have a real speedy recovery and be right back to it. I have no doubt she will.
Absolutely. And I know we have everyone putting in here. We have North Carolina, Illinois, California. Some people have asked what happened. We won't go ahead and talk about it here. There's plenty of information on the social media and the Facebook groups, Millionaires in Training, the 100K, and the Big Table group. So you get an update there. Let Laurel know your thoughts or share some comments there as well on the social media. So we're going to go ahead and get to it today because obviously it's the start of a new year. And this is the time of year when everyone in the community is focused on taking advantage of that momentum, shaking off the holiday coma, as it were, and rocking and rolling into the new year. So for those of you who are joining us today, you may have heard of these before, but we want to go ahead and promote our ongoing specials that we have going on right now. We actually have 3 events going on at the same time that you can register and sign up for by going to nyny2021.com. We have, first off, our 100K giveaway, where we're giving away over $100,000 in prizes, a number of coaching programs and products for helping us promote some of the events we have going on. We also have our annual wildcard shuffle, which gives you the opportunity to win prizes and promotional codes for special offers on products within our store. And last but not least, we have our New Year, New You webinar board. Laurel walks everyone through the 8 steps or the 8 areas that you need to focus on making your commitments in the new year to realize the success you want to have. We just put up the legalese for the legal department over there. Again, this is all for educational purposes only. We're teaching you how to evaluate deals. We are not presenting them as such. Lastly, though, and this is why we are all here, Integrated Wealth is here on a mission to help you change your conversation about money. That means primarily changing it from that mainstream math conversation to Laurel's own millionaire maker math. We don't talk about working from 9 to 5 for 45 years here. We talk about going out, proactively creating wealth, managing it, and achieving our freedom days. So as I said earlier, we do have a number of promos that are going on. We do have our New Year, New You 2021.com website. All you have to do is go to the website, see a little message from Laura about the rules, what we're doing, and it gives you the opportunity to sign up. And you see there, it's $110,936. That is an exact number of what we are giving away. So it's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of prizes out there for you to win for taking care of, or for helping us promote our message of better managing and better creating wealth within your life. And then lastly, I think we have the wildcard shuffle stats up here. This is the best part of the year. I love seeing this. We had over 1,000 people registered for the contest, 565 winners, and almost $28,000 in prizes given away. Now, because of Laurel's medical situation, we have gone ahead and extended the contest for 7 more days. Laurel absolutely wanted to be in tip-top shape for leading her favorite webinar of the year, that New Year webinar. So she's going to go ahead and push it back 1 week. That gives everyone 7 more days to participate, not only in the wildcard shuffle, but the 100K giveaway, and give you that many more chances to earn the prizes and move on forward. Now, again, I'm seeing everyone in the chat box below. Go ahead. If you've not yet done so, let us know where you're coming from. And we're going to talk a little bit about commitments today. Laurel's webinar next week is going to rely heavily on how to create commitments, not New Year's resolutions, but actual actions to help you realize the success you're looking to have in 2021. I think this is really great because today, obviously we don't want to see Laurel in the hospital, but I can't think of a better person in the community to lead us through the discussion of commitments than Randy, who leads this during the workshop itself, and is perfectly primed to talk about this. So Randy, you have the slide here. Tell us a little bit more about commitments and what people really need to be doing.
Yeah, it starts with a bunch of things, and we're going to go over some building leading stuff here in a little bit. But first of all, you have to really put it into perspective of how many people make these wonderful, glorious New Year's resolutions with the intention to go out and do something big. And that may only include losing 5 pounds, or brushing their teeth, or exercising. There's a million of them. And statistically, most people stop with that New Year's resolution by January. The question is why? Why do we get so excited about the new year and then go from that excitement of the new year and quickly lose mustard? Well, because what we're doing is we're not committing to a long-term type of a result, which means we're not committing to actions that are going to produce that result. See, we look at the world in an interesting manner. All of us, every human, we observe the world through what I call our occurrence. The world occurs to us in a certain way. And we're only going to choose to take actions that are in service to the results we claim we want. Now, that's an interesting statement. We claim we want these results. Do we really want them? We don't, there's a bunch of tests we can do. I take companies through this sometimes on leadership retreats that I run, but most people don't actually understand how to declare what they really want. I'll take the easiest one in this community right here. We do this a lot. I see lots of people in this community claim they want money. They claim they want more money. Everybody on this call has said it to somebody else on this call in this community. They claim they want more money. Well, they don't really want more money. Most of us don't want more money. Money is not a motivational tool for the long run. It'll motivate you for a week, or you'll get excited and do some things. But when we talk about what we really want, it's the things the money provides. And if they're ambiguous and they're not clear, and we're talking about a resolution that we're going to get something and we attach that to money, then we're doomed to fail. We are just doomed to fail. It's also not the big giant things that money wants. I'll guarantee you, it's not having houses on every continent all over the world. That's why we're trying to work hard to make lots of money. No. If you really can say, why do you want that? Why do you want that? And why do you want that? 5 whys. Here's a little tip for all of you. As you're making your resolutions and you're trying to find out what you really, really want, it's 5 whys. Go ahead and start with money. I want $1 million. Why? So I can buy this. Why? So I can do that. Why? So it allows me this. Why? Once you get to that 5th why, you're going to know the thing you want to work on. Now you've got something to stay in touch with. So that's the first thing. That's most of these commitments fail because you don't really know why you're doing it, right? Believe it or not, people aren't going to the gym just to lose weight. They claim that, they say that's what they want, but it's not necessarily what. So that's a big deal. So one of the things Thomas put up here, and jump to the next slide here, Thomas, is that the Facebook page, the Millionaire in Training Facebook group, Laurel wants all of you to go through those whys a little bit and put in what you really want. Put in what you really want. Stick them in here if you know them. If you know them, start sticking it in. What do you really want? You want time. You want money. Not just money, but what are you going to do with the money? See, that's how people go. We automatically just jump to it. So you want to stay on top of that and be conscious of it. So that when you catch yourself going astray, it has to be something that would make you go, I got to do this. I got to do the right thing right now. I need to make those calls because I need to make those sales because I need to make that money because it's going to provide me and my family legacy and freedom.
And Randy, if you wouldn't mind real quick, just to interrupt, because I want to make sure we're giving everyone a concrete example. If you wouldn't mind sharing, what do you normally do over the holiday season each year? Because I think it's a great showcase of not just why you want the money, but what the money leads to.
Sure. I'll talk about it from a personal standpoint. One of the things I do during the holiday seasons every year is I go down to Mexico. My wife and I drive down. We've got a place down there. We've been 20 years down there. One of the things we like to do when we're there, and we do this every year, is we simply start walking through our money rules. Right? What are our money rules doing? What's our money doing? We then start discussing what are our goals and our, I guess you could say, resolutions. What are we going to accomplish in 2021, both business and professional? And we take over those 2 weeks, there's no long drawn out session on a whiteboard. We do it in fits and pieces over the course of 2 weeks. So that by the time we leave, we have our own plan, our own vision, our own personal goals, our own professional goals, our goals individually, our goals as a couple. And then here's the key thing, folks. We have milestones every quarter. What's going to happen by the end of March? It's going to happen by the end of April, May, June. Every quarter we have goals, so that we stop every quarter. We look around. Hey, how are we doing? Are we close to these goals? Are we on the right track? And if yes, great. If no, we adjust. So yeah, Thomas, that is something I do every year. And then we do the same thing with the company as well.
Right.
We do the same thing within our company. And I'll talk about that when we get to the next slide, the building, leading, protecting slide. So, I want to make sure that you guys all understand that it is a process of clarity. And, that's, what we're talking about. Now, on the company side, we do the exact same thing.
Well, I know you're an avid scuba diver.
We'll get on the next slide here.
Right. I know you're an avid scuba diver as well, too. And that was part of the thing that I wanted to get to, is that you do that yearly planning, but there's plenty of that why interspersed with it at the same time. But go ahead. Let's go to building, leading, protecting your business, because you shared some great information with me about this earlier.
Yeah, and it is also part of that why. That I'll finish up on that. When I'm down there, we're doing the things we like to do. Most people know, and there's many people on this call, I've seen some names on here, I'm not easy to get a hold of during those 2 weeks. That's the only 2 weeks out of the year I'm not easy to get a hold of. I can be gotten a hold of, but it's not super easy. I'm not the most responsive. Generally, I'm real responsive, not down there, because you got to go live the thing you're doing it for, right? Originally, we only would go for a week. 10 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago, we would only go for 1 week. Then about 10 years ago, we moved it to 2 weeks because we really like it and we enjoy being down there. So you're right. So Steve, jump to the next slide, would you? I don't know where my slides went. Oh, there it is. Got it. Got my screens mixed up. So I'm going to talk through this, but I'm not going to necessarily read it. I'm just going to give you guys an idea of what does it mean to build, lead, and protect. Now, building, leading, and protecting is what it's all about inside your business. When you start looking at the details of this program that Laurel has, and this is something I've taken with me for years, I've instituted it in many corporations, in many other businesses, small and large. But first of all, you got to know, your purpose, your mission, and your vision. Now, she talks about purpose right here. You start out setting your vision. Your vision must be clear. You must understand it. And it all comes back down to the purpose of what you're doing. For instance, at iFlip, we have a very specific one, as you saw the one for integrated wealth systems early on. At Flip, our purpose is simple. We empower, and that's the key word, every individual to preserve, protect, and grow wealth. Sounds similar. That's the idea. That's what we do. Everything we do as a company is in service to that purpose. If you're doing things inside your own business that are not in service to your vision or your purpose, then stop doing them, or go redo that vision, get it accurate. Your vision is the perfect future state. I think the vision is almost never fully realized. Are we really going to empower every individual in the world? Probably not. But that's the vision of the perfect picture of our preferred future state. That's the commitment to the business. Now, when you start getting the people on your team enrolled in that, it becomes very powerful. Then you want to talk about, and this is kind of what this program does. If you haven't ever done the Building, Leading, Protecting program, I highly encourage it. It is one of the most valuable programs that Laurel offers. Module 2, they're going to teach you how to, identify your business strategies and tactics. Once you know where you're going, you actually need to know what's going to happen to get there. And you need to build out the milestones and the strategies to do it. Another way to put this is sequencing. You must have in order the things you're going to do. You can't eat everything all at once. You can't do all the work instantly. So you need to understand the sequence. I love building milestone graphs. Milestone graphs are awesome. Then because it tells you by this date, I'm going to have this done. By this date, I'm going to have that done. By this date, I'm going to have that done. We just did our marketing strategies and tactics on a milestone graph for the first 5 months of the year. What's getting rolled out when? How are we doing it? How do we do this? Where do we go? And what's going to happen? And here's a real key piece. Write this down. When you're building out your strategies and your tactics and you put them on a milestone graph, you must have milestones that are measurable. Often we make the mistake of putting ambiguous or subjective milestones. We do that with goal setting as well. We do that when we're evaluating employees. We do that with our children, and we can create a lot of confusion by doing that. You don't want to be in that boat. Next, you want to build a revenue model. You want to understand that revenue drives everything. You heard me say a minute ago, money's not why you do it, but you can't do it without the money. Revenue is critical. You must know what happens in your conversions. And you probably can't see it behind me, but our funnel model for Flip for 2021 is on that board right behind me. It stays in front of me all the time. I'm always paying attention to it. I know that I need this many number of these levels inside my funnel by the end of the year to get there. Then I revert that down all the way into 30-day chunks. On the sales side of the house, we chop it up into weekly chunks. Protecting, man, I can't say enough about protecting. Building, leading, protecting. Protecting is not important until you need it. And then it's everything. And if you try to do it after the fact, it's too late. It's like insurance, your finance, your tax, your legal, all of that needs to be in order. It needs to be properly structured in not just any entity, but the right entity. Your asset protection plan and your insurance strategy needs to be in place. If it's not in place, that's another thing I review every Christmas. Who do we got? How many policies? What is this? You got to review it. You got to know it and be ready to go. Once you get to that point, now you can get to marketing. Again, without marketing, Laurel's got a slide that she used to use all the time. It says marketing is the answer to everything. And proper marketing will solve every problem you currently have. It's going to create a whole bunch of new ones, but it's going to solve all your current ones. But you need to understand that marketing is something that if you don't do it, nobody knows about you. Marketing is about sharing with the world the thing you do to help them. That's what marketing is about. Sales is completely different. We'll get to that one in 1 second. Sales is just locking down that transaction. When you're properly marketing yourself, then you're going to have constant leads coming in. And marketing is not all about buying ads on Facebook or Google. There's a lot of other things to marketing than that. Okay. So those are things that you want to learn how to do. You want to master those. And then sales, of course, sales. Sales finalizes the transaction. Sales brings the money in the door. Sales gets to drive the bus a lot. Many people get grumpy. Marketing people get grumpy at salespeople all the time. And product development people get grumpy at salespeople all the time. Salespeople are always asking for something they don't have. They always want something better to sell. They always want a discount. They always want to be able to do a better deal. That's how sales is. Well, when you're running sales, you'll understand why. At the same time, you got to make sure the sales and marketing are acting as a cohesive unit. You got to make sure they're acting as a cohesive unit. One suggestion for you, talked about those milestones and setting out that strategies and tactics and what you're going to do. I hold sales and marketing equally accountable to the same exact measures in my company. Most marketing guys don't like that. They want to produce good leads. That's my job as a marketer, to produce good quality leads. My job as a sales guy is to convert those leads from leads to customers. I hold them both accountable to both sets of numbers. That way we don't fight about it. There is no fighting about it. There's only one set of numbers and everybody's accountable. So when you start thinking about that, and if maybe you're a small business and it's just you, well, you know you need to bring in a certain number of leads to convert into a certain number of customers. That's a big deal. And if you don't have this all laid out where it's easy to get to, you can find it, you can see it, you can touch it, it's on the walls all over the place like you see behind me, then you're going to struggle and you're going to forget about it. And you're going to slide into the mode of doing the thing you like to do and not actually driving your business. And then lastly, you know, the thing that really we don't put enough time on is leadership. Leadership, to me, is everything, right? The fish stinks from the head. You as the leader of your business, are responsible for everything. I'll say that again. You're responsible for everything. Every problem is a problem that's yours. Every victory you get to celebrate as well. However, it's important that no matter what size of your team, you're leading it powerfully and consistently. And you're the conductor of what's going on. You can't wear every single hat. You have to wear the leadership hat and then dabble and pay attention to what's going on and lead all the different verticals. Now, I just spent like 6 minutes going through the Building, Leading, Protecting program. I can tell you it's a much bigger program than that. And it is absolutely critical to what you're doing. If you're really trying to grow a business, you're trying to grow this thing to produce something you claim you want beyond money, then this is an integral part of what you do. Every major company in the world wasn't always major, and they all did some sort of this in the beginning. They all did. So, Thomas, I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely, it was helpful because I think a lot of people, as you said, Randy, they have an idea here and there, but they don't understand the sequencing of how this needs to be run through. And just like you said, I mean, this is incredibly valuable content, incredibly valuable planning that major companies pay tens of thousands of dollars for, you know, special seminars to go through this. And we're offering it for, you know, an amazing price. We'll get to here in just a second. This is, if you haven't done it, you know, recently, this is something you need to do at the start of the year, especially with everything we have going on in the economy right now.
Yeah, we do this as a company, this similar model, something similar to this at the end of every year inside the company, with the entire company, we do it, Thomas. And I'll tell you this, if you want to hire me to come out and do this for your business and come spend, you know, 2 or 3 days with your team doing this whole process, it's going to cost you at least 10 grand, just so you know.
Exactly. And what's really great is, and just so everyone knows what we're looking at, I mean, we have Building, Leading, Protecting Your Business. It is a process, but for today and for the start of the new year, in order to help everyone basically kickstart what they're going on, we're going to add in one additional item. And this is a program that I was very involved in creating, which is the Business Acceleration Lab. Steve's going to go ahead and move the slide here just a second, but essentially, you know, we have that Building, Leading, Protecting Business program, and that is the capstone of this process of the 7 steps that anyone can take, as the slide says, towards becoming a millionaire in that 3 to 5 year plan, right? So you have the overall process to figure out, how are you creating the cash machine? What are you looking to do? And then once that's established, once you have that market validation, taking it to the next level of building, leading, protecting your business. So the Business Acceleration Lab is 7 modules of core curriculum and education. Used to look like the old 3 Days to Cash workshop that Laurel ran in the past, was essentially world famous for. Also comes with a bonus module for some additional items on that course. One of the things I love with this, and one of the things I refer to all the time, is 1,001 cash machine ideas. So if you're struggling to come up with any idea of what it could be to have a business or what you want to do next, we have resources that you can go through and literally think about, whether it's dog walking, or car washing. We've got ideas to get you started and get you covered moving forward on that. So when it comes to this new year offer, we've put together an amazing package for folks to get started over the course of the next week. So as Randy said, we're offering Building, Leading, Protecting Your Business. Normally that's $497 on the store, but for today's offer, it's going to be $197. We also have the Business Acceleration Lab for $497, which is typically a $2,500 value. But because we're at the start of the new year, because we're at the start of putting together success for 2021 at the end of a rough 2020, we're putting together this New Year, New You promo where you can buy both of these online video courses, access them immediately from purchase, and get them for just $197. It's asklaurel.com/finishline. And if you go there right now, you'll be able to purchase the courses and start working not only on developing what your cash machine may be, but then how to actually create a legitimate business plan around it once you've had that market success. And if you're looking at everything what you're trying to do over the course of the next year, $197 to streamline that process and set into place the necessary items you need to have for success, you're not going to find a better deal, hands down. As Randy said, he does this work for other businesses, and it costs $10,000 to do over the course of the weekend. This is a self-directed course from Laurel herself for less than $200 to all but ensure your success in your cash machine over the course of 2021. Now, the best part about this is that gets you in the right mind frame for next Tuesday's New Year, New You webinar, where you'll be able to add on to the commitments that you've already made within your business and have everything planned out for all of 2021. So I'd invite everyone to go to asklaurel.com/finishline right now to go ahead and take advantage of this offer. It's going to be something that we can hold up for a while, but is not going to be available, I think, beyond the webinar itself. We'll put them some information as to when we're going to take that down. But absolutely want to go ahead and get everyone started on this immediately, as these 2 programs are going to be exactly what you need to get moving over the course of the new year, if you've not yet done so. But also solidify some of the ideas and planning you may have done previously as we go into the new year. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We want to thank you all for being patient. Obviously, Laura would love to be here at the start of the new year and have the webinar as we always do, but sometimes life happens and that's not always the opportunity. Again, we have 7 more days of the contest, both Wildcard Shuffle and the 100K Challenge giveaway. Go to nyny2021.com to sign up, be entered in all 3 promotions. And also go to asklaurel.com/finishline. Get those 2 video courses now. Complete them, get them ready for next week, and you will be well on your way to having success for the new year. So again, special thank you to Randy Tate for hopping on the call today. We appreciate his coming on, talking about commitments, helping out at a late moment's notice, and appreciate him as always. Again, thank you all for hopping on the webinar today. We look forward to seeing you next week. Again, go to asklaurel.com/finishline and nyny2021.com. On behalf of everyone here at Integrated Wealth Systems, Laurel, Randy, and Steve, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Thomas.